When you need advice, come to Ben and Kelly. It's Group Therapy on 99.7 DJX.
So Jennifer reached out, hey, Ben and Kelly, hoping you can help me out here.
Mm-hmm.
My husband just landed a job with a company that is dominant in his field.
Okay.
He gets a big jump in title. He's going to double his pay.
Ooh.
Hubby's never been more happy. Super proud of him.
Mm-hmm.
To celebrate, his new boss invited us out for dinner. We had an amazing meal, then went to the bar afterwards for a few drinks. When my husband went to the restroom, his boss said to me, "You seem like you have a good marriage."
Oh.
I said that we do.
That's nice.
He then shot back, "Does he satisfy you in the bedroom?"
Oh.
You're a beautiful woman, could clearly have anyone you wanted to fulfill your needs.
Oh, wow.
I just laughed and said, yes, we're fine. When my husband came back, told my husband I was tired, needed to leave. I was pretty quiet the entire way home. Haven't said anything to him about his new boss, about what his new boss said to me. His comments and body language seemed like an obvious, inappropriate inquisition to me. Not sure how much more I'm going to have to see this repulsive man, but I'm already dreading our next encounter. I never keep anything from my husband, but is this one time that I should? My husband's so happy, I can't imagine him not saying something to his boss if he knew.
Oh my gosh, what a predicament! Because
I know.
Yeah, it's like it's not even like you have tenure and
right.
It's a new boss that comes in that you find out is this way. It's like he is brand new into the system. And then there's this.
It's not okay, but at the same
it's
time,
not.
like, I understand her hesitation to say anything because she's not directly involved in his job. And like
Right.
she said, maybe she can just avoid not having to have any contact with the boss and it'll be fine. It's tough. I don't know what's the right answer here.
Does she wait until that first paycheck comes and then looks at the paycheck and then decides?
Well, I think she's
I
already
don't
going to know what the paycheck's going to look like.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, that is a tough situation because, especially if she were if she were the one that was hired and that was her boss that she just found out.
Right.
I mean, then yes, absolutely. That is something
That's a different situation.
If it's her husband, I mean, part of me is like, yes, absolutely. You tell him, but I don't know. Ah, man. Yeah, that's.
Right, I don't know.
All
because, yeah, like she said, the problem is if she tells him, she knows
he's probably going to
not,
say something.
Yes. He's not going to keep it to himself. He's going to say something, which could, obviously cause some waves early
Sure.
on.
And it does look weird, especially if you just land a job and it's great and then you turn around and quit like a month later or you leave that job a month later. It
doesn't look good to the next prospective employer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you have to put that on a resume though. If you have only been in a job for like not a long time,
you just ignore that.
You just kind of ignore that and pretend like it never happened. I don't know.
Okay,
but maybe that's me and just living in gray world. Living in a gray world. All right. If this is something that maybe you have had experience with where, your partner or spouse has a boss that is just not appropriate and how you handled that situation, let us know because I think your experience could probably help here. 502-795-1997. We'll take some of your calls and your texts and your advice. Group therapy on the way next. 99.7 DJX. So, group therapy. Jennifer's husband got a new job. He loves great pay. But at a celebratory dinner with drinks, when her husband went to the restroom, his new boss kind of hit on her and asked her some inappropriate questions. So
now she doesn't know, like, do I say something to my husband? Because I know he'll probably say something to the boss. And I want to put him in that situation so early into this new job. Tara says, sure. Ouch. I understand not wanting to taint the image of your husband's new boss and preventing conflict between them. But the boss seems icky enough to tell your husband you tried coming on to him in an attempt to manipulate the situation and cause doubt in your husband. If your policy is open and honest, be open and honest.
Now, Heather says, I wouldn't tell my husband right now because I don't really have to see this guy again, hopefully for a while. So by then, he may be working his way out anyways if he's this type of person because I'm sure he has a reputation there at work.
Ooh, Brittany kind of agrees, though. I would tell my husband what happened. You don't want to keep it happening, or the boss says that you came on. A lot of people are saying the boss seems icky enough that he could actually plant the seed, with your husband that you were the one being inappropriate. He'd probably know that was an absolute lie. But Michael is coming from the perspective of a husband. I'd rather my wife speak up.
100%.
Something he can watch out for. It makes you wonder, is he the type that will get your husband doing things on the side with clients?
Yeah, and I think about it from a marriage standpoint. It's like, yeah, of course I would want my partner, my wife, my husband, whoever, to tell me something like this happened, just so I know how to approach it, moving forward.
Exactly.
And then a lot of people brought up that point that I think is a great point, because what if then the boss tries to gaslight the guy into thinking that, oh, you know what? Your wife had eyes on me, type of thing. And one of those where, if he does do that, then, the husband already knows, okay, all right, buddy, and then he can kind of figure out, is it worth the money? Is it worth all of this to deal with a guy like this? And then honestly, from an HR standpoint, I don't know how much there is that he can do, but I think he probably could have a case in some instance, especially if it was like a work function that he did it to his wife at,
Could very well be. I don't know. It's
Who knows?
probably a gray area, but I think the first step is absolutely telling the husband. Mm-hmm. And let him figure out how to deal with it, because then you can talk to him and just say, listen, I don't expect you to quit right now. I just wanted you to know, just be on alert. And, hopefully this is just a one instance kind of a thing. I'll just make sure that I'm not there around your boss if you need to do any sort of after work kind of things. Mm-hmm. And maybe she can approach it that way. And so he won't feel like, well, dang it, now I have to quit this job that I love. I don't know. And it's hard to say. Obviously, he's probably going to be pretty upset.
Yeah.
With, his
the
new,
boss.
and yes,
yeah,
he's going to be upset about it. But then it's what you do with the information. I think that's the big question.
But Jennifer, I think the overwhelming majority of people are saying, yes, you got to tell your husband, especially if you've got a relationship built on trust already. You've got a good marriage. You don't keep secrets like this. This is a time when you just gotta tell them and let the chips fall where they may. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey,
let us know how that goes.
Yeah. Good luck with that. That's a rough situation to be in. But thank you for reaching out. That is group therapy.